Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to you at last. I am Stylosa and I am back with more pros playing the new hero. Now, if you remember, we did this with Doomfist and we're going to do this with Moira. So, in this clip, we're going to see pros taking part in pro pugs on the PTR. Now, this means they're going to set proper team comps, or at least try and play around proper team comps and try and be experimental with the new healer and see what they can actually do with her and how powerful she is. And obviously, when we watch this, we can learn quite a lot from this, much more than we would learn from just straight up playing on the PTR, because you know what the PTR is like. It's a bit of a disgrace at times, especially for balance. Anyway, what you're seeing here is a Moira duel. And you can see the chat, they're like, what's going on? We've got Typhlosion, who might be a smurf of somebody, I'm not sure, although I'm not familiar with that name, against Lime Pro. And yeah, as you see, Typhlosion gets killed in the end, which is great. Anyway, let's get into some actual games. So we're on Lijiang Tower here, Night Market. If you look at the team comps, they're kind of pretty standard, right? We've just got, on the blue team, we've basically got Dive with Moira, and then on the red team, we've basically got the same thing again. So you'll notice they're not running with Mercy here, which might be indicative of what's going on with Mercy in the future, because I think Mercy finds it very, very hard to actually get value off res now because of the cast time. So maybe Blizzard will need to look at that, I'm not sure. Anyway, what you will notice throughout this clip is anywhere where Moira is fighting in an enclosed space, she is a goddamn beast of a healer. She has to be the best healer for straight up heal throughput, like, which is the quantity, the amount of healing she can do in a team fight is completely ridiculous. So the reason for that is her primary fire here, the sort of spray, that hits everybody. It doesn't get blocked by the first target it hits, so it goes through targets, it heals everybody. There is massive quantities of healing. Her orbs, which I think are crazy powerful, right? In fact, I think this whole hero is really, really powerful. Now that I've actually seen it in like a semi kind of professional situation. I guess we should just talk about the ultimate now while she's using it. This thing is crazy powerful again. Now what this does is it damages and heals, right? But again, it fires through all targets. Now you'll notice it's not doing crazy healing, it's not doing crazy damaging, but it's damaging and healing at the same time. So when you fire this bad boy through a choke, like they did there, like Neptuno did, straight through like where all the enemy team is and where your team is fighting, you get so much value from that. It is ludicrous. Anyway, let's roll this back to the orbs. Now, the orbs, they've got a very, very special mechanic. On the heal orb, or the harmony orb, whatever you want to call it, what this thing does is it slows down based on the number of friendly targets it's healing. So you can fire this straight into your team when they're in a big clump, and it will do mega healing to them. Like, it won't fly past them straight away. It'll do mega, mega, mega healing. And this is why she's so powerful. I mean, look at this here. Neptuno's on the point. Yeah, he's been killed, but he's putting out a lot of healing there. He had to get killed by a Genji dropping an ult in his face. And I'll have you know as well, guys, Moira is crazily effective against Tracer and against Genji. Now, these were actually touted as counters by Jeff. There is, I think, something which might get nerfed with Moira, and that's the range of her damage attack, which is her right click. Now, this appears to have a 20-meter range. You can see it there. You see how, like, it's kind of like Symmetra's beam meets Zarya's primary fire in a way. Like, it's a bit weird. Also, there's a bug here at the moment on the PTR where you don't see the animation of Moira's ultimate from Spectator. I think actually this happens in the game as well. But again, you can see that use of it there was pretty solid. Like, it's a massive team fight. You fire the ultimate straight through it. You sort of position yourself towards the back of the team, fire the ultimate through, hit your team, hit the enemy team. I think when the chips are down, you basically want to prioritize healing rather than doing damage with the ultimate. But, you know, like, if Genji's using his blade, right, you can fire your ultimate and just keep it and just track Genji and do massive healing to Genji while he's going around killing people. You can also throw your healing orb out, and that'll do the same thing. If Genji follows the heal orb, well, he's going to get healing as he goes around killing stuff. So it's like another layer of like a skill-based support. I mean, you look at the supports and you say, on the face of it, Anna is very high skill. So is Moira. Moira is the same sort of thing, if not more, you know, more of a skill ceiling. It's completely ridiculous. Obviously, Mercy and Lucio and Zen, they're also very high skill ceiling if you take them to like the extreme levels. But what I'm kind of talking about here is just to get them like to a good kind of level of play, like have a good impact on the game. Moira seems crazy. Anyway, this primary fire, I think they'll nerf the range on this, because you see that there? You can hit, like, basically you have no resource meter on your damage attack. So you can just keep this thing on whenever you're not healing. Also, that jump as well, there you can see Neptuno is a little bit like, what the hell is going on? That is because you can sort of, you know the way you can jump with Doomfist off ledges when you punch? You can do exactly that with Moira. Will they fix that? Probably not, because Doomfist can still do it. So, yeah, like, on any point where it's an enclosed fight, I think Moira is pretty much like a straight-up pick. Like, She's very weak against Pharah Mercy combos for obvious reasons because she can't really do anything against them. But on, Nepal Sanctum, she's going to be very strong, which I think we'll see later on in this video. Okay, let's take a look on Numbani. Now, what we're going to see here, you'll notice straight away the blue team have got triple tank. They've got Reinhardt, they've got Roadhog, they've got Zarya. This is what I was kind of expecting with Moira because her damage her healing output is ridiculous. This means she can keep tanks up. It means she can charge her ultimate ridiculously fast, like insanely fast. So watch this. They're going to move into a tight choke. The enemy team have got Moira as well, but watch this. The tanks just walk straight through. Moira is in the back healing everybody. That's the critical thing here. Healing absolutely everybody. That heal beam goes through everything. This isn't just hitting the first target. It's healing everything. If you had Ana there, Ana's only healing the first target. She's not healing everybody and letting them push through the choke. This hero is, like Jeff said on stage, she's OPAF, right? Well, maybe she's not, but she is just like, wow. She does so much work. It is crazy. So, all right, let me moan about the primary attack again just a little bit, because I think this is a little bit too far with range. I mean, look at the ultimate. The ultimate's already charged. Look at the enemy, Moira. She's on 67% there. Typhlosion's on, well, he's already got his just because of the sheer quantity of healing he output. And in fact, it's the first ultimate that's charged just full stop on the team, which is crazy. Like, yeah, you could do that with Ana if you got a ton of healing off with Ana, but it seems much easier to get that quantity of healing off with this hero. And this hero is so flexible. I think, like, when I look at it, it's got very powerful orbs. Like, the orbs are really, really powerful. Its primary heal is really good because it can go through targets. Yeah, it's not as good as a Mercy Beam, but Mercy Beams only connect to one target. This thing goes through everybody. So it's like, in theory, it's much better if teams like stick together. Its ultimate is really, really good. Its fade ability rate can move. It's just very dynamic. It's very flexible. It can kind of do everything. Like Jeff did say, people are probably going to go, oh, it's hybrid. It's not going to be good at both roles. Well, it kind of is. You have to know what you're doing at the right time. I mean, look at this. Jumping around using the... I want to call that a Discord orb. It's not a Discord orb because it does damage. The damage orb, let's call it. Like, using that, being able to damage, being able to heal, it's just like... This is one of those characters that DPS players can totally play, and that's what I've been asking for a while, because you guys know what Overwatch competitive can be like at times. People just want to play DPS, and it's very hard, like, if you don't have any healers on the team. So the more healers like Ana that kind of bridge that barrier, like blur the lines between DPS, and we get to see this ridiculous 1v1 brawl. But those type of heroes are good. So let me explain what's going on here. You see the self-healing component here from the damage weapon. So it's kind of vampiric in a way. So they're healing each other while they're damaging each other. They're throwing their orbs around. They're healing each other with their orbs. They're still healing each other. They're using ultimates on each other. It's just like, what? It's a mess. Like, this hero would not be a hero you would use in like a 1v1. Like an Eco Point Antarctica or something. That would not be a clever idea because you're just going to be fighting forever. In the end, Blind Pro does get the advantage you see at the start of the video, but that's only because the use of that orb there was not great. You should not have threw that orb there. You should have bounced it into the ground up and down in the room. See, there's a lot of like skill with this hero. It's just mind-blowing. It's just totally ridiculous. And I almost typed in wrecked, but then I was like, no, I'm a nice guy. But it was wrecked. You can see the chat going crazy, like, what the hell is going on? All right, so they've kind of pushed them back a bit here, and this, again, is an area where Moira is going to excel. Anywhere where there is a choke, and you're going to fight in the choke, see there, throw the heal orb off the wall. Why not? Fade out of the Graviton as well, which I don't know whether that's going to remain, but we'll have to see. It's just... use your ultimate, fire it through the choke. It's very simple on the face of it how to be effective with this hero, but then it has layers of complexity which allow you to take it to like another level, and that's why the design of this hero is so brilliant. The only thing that annoys me with this hero, like, I really like the way it looks. Like, not every female in the game needs to look like a friggin' model, like, Mercy, whatever. I actually really like this hero. It looks really nice. Its voice is awesome as well. It almost doesn't feel like the rest of the Overwatch cast. When you look at like Tracer, she's got like a really sort of comedy Cockney accent. It's really like exaggerated, whereas Moira just has like an Irish accent, like not a stupid Irish accent that you might see in the movies or whatever. It's a very good Irish accent, and it makes her feel like more real. Like, she's ridiculous. It's so good. But the only thing that annoyed me anyway was the fact they didn't tease her. Like, at least give us something, get us hyped up before BlizzCon. They just gave us nothing. They were like, hey, Moira, here you go. But yeah, right. You can see what's going on in this. The blue team, who are using triple tank, and they're still on triple tank, are really hard to kill. Like, the red team are having to invest quite a lot of ultimates to get rid of them, to destroy them. So the question is, like, what's going to happen now? We're back in this choke. Both Moiras are at, like, peak effectiveness right now, because if you're fighting in a small area, you're going to get a load of work done. Now, the fade ability, I'd like to talk about this a little bit. This actually, it makes you go invisible and you sort of jump away. There is a little trail showing where you go, but it's kind of hard to see. So this means you can put yourself in really interesting positions, like behind the team and stuff. As we see, like the graviton breakout and all that stuff, actually just reminding myself of something. You do not actually get the amount of like, so if you get a graviton combo and there's a dragon strike from Hanzo fired through the graviton, you cannot out heal the damage the graviton, dragon strike will do with your ultimate as Moira. They tried to do this and it does not work, so you do not put out enough healing to counter that, which means that her ultimate isn't like a Transcendence, right, which can completely negate that. It's not as good as that defensively because it's also got an offensive component. So there's a balance there, and I think that's a cool and a fine balance. Anyway, let's go back to Nepal and let's take a look at Sanctum. This again is another map where I think she's going to be horrifically powerful. In fact, I think right now, like, very lucky there, Neptuno. Right now, the only kind of weaknesses I'm seeing with this hero is Pharah is a very major counter to this hero, especially when it's coupled with a Mercy. If it's in a map which is open, like I think she very much is like the tank frontline healer. As crazy as this sounds, she runs in and she's on the front line. You know, like Anna. Anna wouldn't be here with the team. I mean, look at how fast you charge the ultimate there, and you just spam the ultimate through the choke and just do loads of damage. It's so loads of damage, loads of healing. It's just mental, right? Anna though would not be there. Anna would be further back. Yeah, this healer can be there on the front line because it's got an escape mechanic. None of the other healers have this, right, with the exception of maybe Lucio, right? Zen is very vulnerable when you jump on top of him. Lucio can run away, obviously, because it's Lucio, but, like, you look at the other supports, like Mercy, yeah, she can Guardian Angel away, but if she's Guardian Angeling into a fight, you're probably going to destroy her, right, especially now with the new Mercy. So, yeah, and then obviously Anna doesn't have any movement abilities at all, so she can maybe put you to sleep, but that's basically it. That's a nice hook there by Hog. Always nice when the Hog gets from the side. So now we get to see Vainless do some work. But yeah, she's very flexible. She can do a lot of different stuff. Now, some people were moaning about the design of this hero, saying, oh, well, you know, it's kind of like mechanics from other heroes in the game. And it is, right? It is in a way. You know, look at the beam. It kind of is like Symmetra's beam. Kind of, but it isn't. You still have to aim with this. Like, Symmetra's beam is much shorter range and does more damage, like way more damage. This is longer range. It's sort of like a cross between Zarya's beam and Symmetra's weapon. You've got the Fade ability, which is a cross between Shadow Step from Reaper and Blink with Tracer, and even you can say Doomfist Punch because of the way it interacts with the environment, and you can sort of jump up ramps. It's crazy. You've got the Orbs, which are kind of like Zen in a way, although they bounce around. You see what I mean? It's ridiculous. The only thing which it kind of isn't like anything is the Coalescence, which is the ridiculous ultimate. So, what we can see here, and I kind of hope what I've showed you guys in this video, is this is a viable hero. This is not going to be like Orisa. This isn't going to be like even Anna was at launch. Or even, I guess you could say Doomfist. Well, Doomfist was really effective at launch because he was broken and then they fixed him. So now he's got a bit of a problem. I mean, that looks really nice, the effect there on the red team. But this is a character which is totally usable from day one. It will fit into a team and it can heal the team, it can damage, it is just very, very versatile. And does that worry me about, like, the usage of this hero? I mean, it's early days, so we're not too sure at the moment, but based off all these scrims I was watching last night and the playtime I've had with her at BlizzCon and at on the PTR, she doesn't feel like a throwaway hero. She feels like her impact at first was kind of minimal. It was sort of like, oh yeah, she's Moira and she's a bit of damage, a bit of healing, but once you start putting her inside the team and you start throwing her healing orbs around, oh my god, the effectiveness is utterly ridiculous, and I think Hog gets booped here. Goodbye, Hog. Ripperino, my Hog man. So yeah, I'm really happy with this hero. It's so cool. But yeah, we are seeing the way it's highly effective in these close sort of quarters environments. You know, on some maps it's probably going to suffer. Like I said, on Lijiang Garden, she will suffer quite heavily if the enemy team run a Pharah, or she's kind of caught out in the open. Because I don't think that's like her sort of forte. She kind of doesn't want to be in the open because she's going to be burnt down pretty easily. Like when Fade's not up, she is kind of vulnerable. But that's the thing with this hero. You stay with the team, but slightly behind the team. If anybody tries to jump you, you just fade away, and they've literally got no chance. And then we can see like this ultimate being used in chokes is so powerful. But there we go, guys. I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost, and this has been the Pros Play Moira. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo, guys.